Hello everybody, this is a Grumpy Old Guy Gaming, and we are back with more Dot Hack Tactics, the place where Dot Hack fun, lore, and character builds meet up beautifully with the gameplay of Final Fantasy Tactics. Maybe not beautiful, sometimes awkwardly. Kinda like where this sentence is going. Hope you're doing well out there. Going to go ahead and load up our file. There is ProTag. As you can see, a couple weeks in-game have passed. Been doing a little bit of gaming off of the camera, and things are starting to take shape with the party. Let's go ahead in. Before we go to our first battle, we'll go ahead and take a brief overview of our first four characters here, which are really starting to take shape. Again, ProTag we're just kind of using to level up jobs to help our characters advance along the way. Tsukasa is moving beautifully through the mage ranks, spent some time as a wizard, and was moving into Time Mage, which I thought would be a fairly quick stop. But taking a look at the Time Mage tree, there are two things I'm really looking at here. One is the fact that all the way down at the bottom, Meteor is the big finishing spell for a Time Mage, which is a huge damage spell, and a nice flavor splash for Tsukasa. Ultimately, we want Tsukasa to have all of the summon spells available, but that doesn't necessarily mean Tsukasa has to be a summoner inherently. We just have to have him there for a while to learn all of those spells. So Time Mage is something that really speaks to me for him because it's a bunch of support skills. And of course that Meteor, especially if you've played Dot Hack Versus, it really fits beautifully with Tsukasa's character. The second thing is this ability right here, Short Charge. It shortens the amount of time it takes to cast spells, and I really want that for Tsukasa so that when they cast their summons, they're coming out nice and fast and hitting as many creatures or allies, in the case of Moogle, unaware. As for the summons themselves, once we have Short Charge, the sky's the limit. We'll be leveling up Summoner for a while, and you'll see that they are, if you've never played this game, they are some of the most beautiful artistic abilities in this game. Absolutely love casting them. Moving to our next character overview, we have Kite, who has been moving kind of a neat arc here, because it's kind of fun to build Kite's character. Twin Blade, you'd be thinking ninja, maybe thief. Got some archer in him because of the data drain and the charge skills. Also, I do believe in Link he was represented as more of an archer. And Archer is where we want to grab these charge abilities, increase the damage of the attacks for waiting a set amount of time. Most importantly, we grabbed the ability Concentrate, which gives him a guaranteed success chance on physical attacks. So from there we've been bopping about a bit. We went into Monk for a couple levels and learn Wave Fist, which gives him a 3 square ranged attack that again is sure to hit no matter what. And now we're moving back into Thief. Going after the Move +2. Also probably going to go after the Catch Reflex trigger. We may do some of the steal abilities, but I don't think they're inherently necessary for Kite's character. Moving into Misral, she's already at her predestined final class, more of an aesthetic thing than anything else. The classic white mage priest robes. The white and the red match beautifully with Mistral's robes from Dot Hack. She, of course, was a wave master. And we've been slowly learning the priest spells. We've got Cure, Raise, Protect, Shell, and Asuna. I like to consider those the core 5. If you're going to be playing a white mage, you want the ability to remove status effects, to protect your party from physical and magical damage, and to cure and raise if fallen. And we're just going to move down through the line here, getting all of the pertinent spells. The accessory abilities, Regenerator is nice. Magic Defend Up we're probably going to skip. Haven't been doing too much besides that with Mistral. Sanjuro. We are trying to get Sanjuro to Samurai, which is going to take a bit of work. We've got the Knight qualifications covered, and in Knight we grabbed a wonderful skill, Equip Sword, that allows him to keep his precious weapon at his side even as he transitions into Monk, which is where we currently find him. When we're hanging out here a little bit, we need to get to level 4 in Monk. More importantly, I want him to learn Chakra and maybe Revive as well. So Punch Art could be his second skill. And then we've got to come up and get him some ranks in Thief, which is a class he doesn't even qualify for yet. So we'll have to do a little bit of Archer to get into Thief. And then once we have him at a sufficient level of Thief, he can move into Lancer for a couple levels. So hopefully some of the residual carryover experience from Kite being a thief will carry into Sanjuro. And that's where we stand at the moment. Let's go ahead, bop back and forth. We've been hitting between the Mandalia Plains and the Suiji Woods. And it looks like this first battle will take us right into the Mandalia Plains again. Coming down from the castle this time. Sort of an interesting take on our formation. Let's go ahead and put Pro Tag in the corner there. Tsukasa right behind. Kite in the middle spot. Mistral right next to Tsukasa, and Sanjuro rounding out the party, taking middle front. Putting our strongest fighters up front and our support casters behind. Pretty typical formation. Of course, the condition, defeat all enemies, as it is always for these Radiant battles. We get to move first. We're going to start by having Pro Tag yell to charge himself up and up that speed count. Just have him hold tight. We've got 2 Panthers. At least 1 Goblin. Make that 3 Goblins. We've got 3 Goblins and 2 Panthers, so it's a 5-on-5 battle here. And fittingly for a game of Dot Hack Tactics, one of the Panthers' names is Leos. Sanjuro will just kind of hang out here, as will Kite. Tsukasa will get to work early, grabbing the haste spell and casting it here. Not too high a chance of hitting Sanjuro. Fairly decent chance, 79% on Kite, and a really strong chance, 84% to to give haste to Misral, who in turn will just kind of chill there and wait for the spell. There you have Tsukasa saying, layer upon layer, make your mark now. Haste. Hey! 2 for 2. And we missed the highest percentage of success, but that's enough to level Tsukasa up there. Up to level 7 now. Sanjuro, just more waiting around. Going to yell one more time with Protag. He is doing for himself what the haste spell has been doing. Looks like next round the Panthers will enter the fray physically, and we will have to get going from there. Leos wisely staying out of the way of a wave fist for now. Cast one more haste, this time targeting Tsukasa and Protag. More than likely going to hit Protag. And misses Tsukasa, but still, one hit is enough to get full job points. And now that we've got all the haste in the world on Protag, we are going to try and make the most of it and just have him accumulate for the sake of grabbing extra physical attack. Protag currently a monk to help Sanjuro hit level 4. Probably going to switch to Thief right after that. Not breaking formation, just waiting for the enemy to engage us. And here it comes. Oscuros with a devastating 40 damage slash there on Kite. The goblins approaching very cautiously. Leos the Red Panther also moves to the side, wants to see what we're about to do. Gonna hold on with Tsukasa, but let's move Sanjuro up and start the battle proper. Go for a charge +1. Slotted to do 36 damage. We could live with that. Kite taking some real serious damage there. Let's see if a Wave Fist can do some damage without incurring a counter strike here. 18 quality damage. And we'll move Kite over here. In his stead, we're going to move Protag. Ooh. We have the chance to outright kill this Panther and waste that charge. It's worth the shot, it is. We hit, which is going to waste Sanjuro's turn, but that's 105 damage in a single strike, and that I'm happy with. Misral's going to employ her healing craft, restoring 38 of the 40 hit points Kite lost. Sanjuro there misses, and you can see the haste wearing off of Sanjuro and Kite. So not the most useful haste of all time, but we didn't really cast it for a battle advantage, we cast it for job points. Protag is up again. And while he's going, let's have him go full Wrecking Ball and see what he could do against Leos. Another quality 105, putting Leos into critical range. Time for Tsukasa to make a move. The charge on the black magic isn't going to wait around for the goblins, so we're going to wait an extra turn with Tsukasa. Hopefully the goblins pair up here and we can get the most out of an ice spell. And it does look to be the way it's going. Goblins desperately trying to eye gouge Sanjuro, and they're 0 for 2. Here comes a scratch attempt by Leos, hitting Protag for 28. And then he's going to try and hastily retreat. Sanjuro not amused by this. Gonna go ahead, sneak behind this goblin. Charge +1. Gonna do 60 damage. That one's more than likely going to hit. Move Kite up to here. Wave Fist. 15 guaranteed damage. Right over Sanjuro's head to the goblin. Trying to figure out the best course of action for Misral. I don't think she can quite reach that range. Let's check it out though. Goblins in this game, weak to ice. Let's go ahead, hit that panel. Just kinda chill out, wait around. Protag will go out right after Leos. Finish off the network administrator with a devastating 105 damage. This time the charge +1 hits, and Sanjuro showing stalwart defense again. Dodging the counter punch. Now here comes the ice spell. That's going to finish that goblin up and level up Misral. Tsukasa. Casting a little ice, which is quite nice. Go ahead and target that panel. It's not a direct hit on the goblin we're going to affect, but it should steer the other goblin away from combat this turn. No, it actually moved into the panel, so Tsukasa is going to end up hitting 2 targets for the price of 1 there, and killing 1. So that's even more quality job points. Bringing us back to Protag, who can cover a very wide area. Coming in for the finishing shot on that goblin, and a really clean battle there in the Mandalia Plains. Only 1 big token of damage taken, and we healed that up nicely. Collecting some really nice gil along the way. Or gold pieces if you'd prefer. Going into the formations. Isn't too much we want for Protag out of this. So we'll just kind of have him chill on the points he's got. Tsukasa at Time Mage up to 684, getting ever closer to that daunting 800 experience we need. That'll move him all the way up to 5th level Time Mage, by the way. Kite picking up some really nice thief experience here. Gonna need 520 for that move +2. My goodness, will he be able to range with it though. Nothing too great as far as caster experience went for Misral. And Sanjuro just inching his way further. Could pick up Stigma Magic, but we're only 50 shy of Chakra, and Chakra is a huge one to have. We'll see why here in a bit. Let's keep going with the random battles. into April. Completely skip the Sweegie Woods, and we hit the Mandalia Plains on the way back, so we'll be setting up from the more familiar side for us. Of course, we've set up here a ton, and we know exactly how we are going to set up here. Sanjuro protecting the flank, even though he doesn't have the wealth of hit points he once had as a knight. Extra hit points very much tied to equipment as well as level. So really this game doesn't play super different from the Dot Hack series. Moving into the next battle, I'm seeing goblins, I'm seeing chocobo, which I've always taken to be a word that works equally well in the singular and the plural. Let me know if that's wrong. Also, one red panther there. Yelling again. Big job level up for Protag. Getting that monk class up for him. Hopefully sharing the wealth and spreading a little bit of that experience around. Time magic, time to haste it up. We'll choose this panel here, intentionally target Misral, which will allow us to hit the square just to her right, and move Tsukasa there, which is a very safe waiting place for him. Get some haste on Kite, haste on Tsukasa, and haste on Misral. Big job level up for Tsukasa. Move Kite up to here. You could see both the Red Panther and the Chocobo here on this right side are just barely out of range of that Wave Fist. Yell one more time for Protag. And when it comes to Sanjuro's turn, we'll actually withdraw Sanjuro a step, and then try and hit with a second haste. Alcinova coming up against Kite, and there's our first damage. No, there's our first attempted damage, and Kite deftly dodges. Move Sanjuro back as I said. Have Tsukasa cast that, pardon me for 1 second. Apologies on that as we return. So anyway, casting haste. Going to target the panel with Sanjuro and Protag. Oh, let's target the unit. Why not? Gonna work out to the same math as long as we don't move Sanjuro before the spell goes off. And we won't need to because the Red Panther comes in and decides to poison old Sanjuro. See if the haste attempt will take. Hits Protag and misses Sanjuro. That's about the math we expected. Let's have Misral use her newest bit of white magic, Asuna. 74% chance of removing the poison. We'll take those odds. Move Protag this way. No chance to do any accumulating, so this is just base damage with Protag. Fortunately, Protag, our highest level at 16, still going to do an overwhelming 60 damage on that shot. Takes 28 in return on the counter. Now it's up to Kite, who can do 20 damage of his own on an attack. And we'll take that, along with a very deft dodge. Sure enough, the poison cured before it can take effect. Misral coming through huge with that white magic. 6-turn charge time. It's 48 on the charge timer. Let's go ahead out and check the list. So we have Periar moving, and we have Alcinova moving. I'm pretty sure Alcinova is that Chocobo. Yeah, I think this spell will go off in time. So let's take a look at our black magic. Fire up a bolt spell. And really I'm saying bolt spell because none of these are really a favored element on a red panther. They're all gonna do 26 damage. I'm just feeling up to a little thunder here. So bolted is right on the panther. And here we go. Periar the Chocobo. Gonna charge forward, come right at Kite. No, goes for Protag instead. Misral up. Chance to throw a little black magic herself. Let's move Misral up. Nah. It's too risky. I don't like... Well, let's see what her charge time's at. 6. Yeah, we're definitely not getting both Chocobo, so it is not worth the risk hitting that. Instead, we'll go ahead, try for a little black magic. This is going to be some fire. And we'll put it right on the panther as well. Another Choco attack, and Protag is in trouble. But a counterpunch ends up taking out the Chocobo. Let's go ahead and move Protag back. Save our biggest hitter for now. Or should we just move him to the far right? Either way, I don't think he could outrun the Chocobo. We'll simply have to divert attention there. Sanjuro is up. Try for the direct attack, 42 damage. And move him back to protect Protag as well. Tsukasa is stripping away the ground with glistening blades. So great that we keep getting the actual spell commentary for Tsukasa when he casts black magic. Gonna throw a Wave Fist back at this panther. Just chucking as much damage as possible. Burning Anger, Rising, Burst, Wave Fist. Really cool wordings here. And let's go ahead and move Kite alongside. Now we've protected Protag from all immediate damage. Moved the panther into critical health. And we still have a few magic points left for Misral to come up and cast a cure. Gonna throw an ice spell at the panther just to complete the set here. And move Tsukasa into the corner. Take this moment for Protag to accumulate, since there's nothing better for him to do, sort of trapped in that box at 15 hit points. Reckless move from the Red Panther, but with the spell on the way, decides to just charge in. Let's see if Misral can hit with a cure from there. Yes, she can, hitting Protag and Sanjuro, and not touching the Red Panther or moving into harm's way. Tsukasa is going to hit with some ice and inadvertently hit Sanjuro, but picks up more job points and experience before the haste wears off. Perriard the Chocobo comes right beside Misral. Hits for 48 strong damage. Not enough to stop her from curing, and our front line is back healthy. Protag not at 100%, but certainly well enough to fight. So into the fray he goes, coming after the Chocobo. Up to 78 damage after one accumulate. Kite up next. 23 damage left on the Chocobo. So we'll move back up on our rock. And go for another Wave Fist. Only gonna hit for 12. But more than enough to put the Chocobo in critical condition. Now the Goblin just has one attack left to take, and it's on Sanjuro. 24 damage, not a huge deal to Sanjuro. Gonna move around to the side here. Take that charge +1 for 36. Protag actually gonna leave the Chocobo go. Hit the Goblin for 78, taking 28 on a counterpunch. And now we've got both the Goblin and the Chocobo in critical condition. Tsukasa will move over next to the Chocobo. Take it out with a good old-fashioned physical attack. A thwap to the noggin will do that one in. And let's see if Misral will have any luck against the Goblin. It's down to 3 hit points. It'll take a head-on attack, which isn't guaranteed to hit, but 82%'s fairly good odds. And sure enough, we get melee kills from both casters to end it. A little bit of stick punch magic for those of you into inside jokes. 6,000 gil quality acquired. Again, stocking that up for future job changes so we can go ahead and get the best armor available at the nearest shop when we do change. Checking out the formation again. Moving up that monk ladder very well. Probably going to go ahead. Change him over to... Let's go ahead and change him over to Thief for now. Try and help out with Sanjuro and Kite a bit. Man, we've got to get him a Mithril Dagger. We got our 800 with Tsukasa. So we'll go ahead and hit the short charge. Time to change jobs. Say goodbye to Time Mage at least for a little bit. Transition into Summoner. And learn our first summon, which is going to be Moogle. That'll heal all allies within the affected range. Go ahead, set this up. Still no counter skill. Lose our gain job points up, which has been very, very useful, in exchange for short charge, which will be very useful as well. Go to Kite now. 346. Nothing too special going on there. Misral continuing to work her way up the black magic tree. Probably has enough for Cure 2. Yeah, just not necessary, so we'll hang on to those job points at the moment. Sanjuro gets our chakra, which basically makes him the caster's bodyguard for the next battle. let's go ahead up to Egros Castle here. Buy a better dagger for Protag. We're good with that. And now let's do a quick save up here, see if we can't just trigger one more battle in this upload. Show you just how useful a monk skill like Chakra could be with 2 casters in the party. Into the Suiji Woods we go, which will be our first recorded battle here. This is where we can run into some really nasty enemies, like the, we'll run into our first undead enemy here, and the dreaded bomb, which can self-destruct if you're not careful. Put Sanjuro actually on the back line there. I was afraid of that. I think we'll have to move our casters' positions a little. Nothing much for Kite to do. Protag getting some quality speed there. And of course, the nice thing about this game is every little change you make as these skeletons move forward leads to subtle nuances and differences in how your party interacts. We'll wait for Sanjuro there. Instead of waiting, we're going to go ahead into our white magic, cast Protect on the widest swath possible, hitting 3 members of our party right there. Actually, let's go ahead. Move Misral up here as well. Have Tsukasa wait around. Actually got a shot at 4 members of the party. And we hit just about as many of them as you're going to. 4 for 4 there. One more yell out of Protag, and then we'll move into accumulating. Of course, we don't have that awesome punching power of the monk on him at the moment. Sanjuro, we're going to move up right next to Misral. We're going to use our punch art of Chakra, which is going to replenish both his and Mistral's hit points and magic points, getting the mana filled back up so Misral can just keep on casting. Which is about to come really handy here, as Hien is going to open up the damage with a Thunder Soul. Ranged attack out of the skeleton. We'll move Kite right in front of Misral to protect from another direct shot. And Wave Fist. Only 12, but it's still 12. Have Tsukasa act next. Use his summon magic. It's Moogle. It could heal just about everything in that square. And move him over this way. We'll sneak him around the other side of Sanjuro there. And thanks to Short Charge, it's going to go off pretty instantly You could see the little Moogle coming down right in the middle of the screen, dropping off his healing magic right overhead. Tsukasa instant job up, just like we were hoping. Get Protag right behind the skeleton, attacking for 28. Keeping the damage train going, and as I said, Misral can still cast. Got our choice of options here. Could hit for 52 damage with a fire spell, or because it's undead, Cure and Raise will actually hurt this. Could do 26 damage, or we could go really cheeky and try for the Raise spell. Only a 58% chance of hitting and only 69 damage. It's incredible damage for the shot, but not exactly the route we want to go. I kind of feel like fire is the best choice here. Unfortunately, it looks like not hitting Protag means we'll hit Kite. Just a shot we'll have to take there. Hit with some fire. Another Thunder Soul coming, this one at Kite, who's all of a sudden in critical health. Let's move Sanjuro up on even plane with him. Punch Art Chakra. And just like we did before, get our characters revitalized. And all of a sudden, Sanjuro as a support piece is paying dividends. 28 more damage to the skeleton from Protag, just kinda chill there. Can a Wave Fist finish this skeleton off? Nope. We'll only do 12, so we've got no choice. We've got to move up and attack it directly. That 20 will do it though, and thanks to Concentrate, we knew we were going to hit the whole time. Take a look at Mistral's next spell. It's going to go off right away. Got a 95% chance of hitting with a Raise here for 68 damage. I think we're going to do that. And while we're at it, we are going to move right up by Sanjuro. .68 big damage landed there with the Raise spell. Seeing our protections wearing off. The bomb entering the fray, meaning that our fire spells will now cure the bomb if they hit the same range. Move Tsukasa up alongside Sanjuro. Let's cast another Moogle. Again, going to hit instantaneously, and we can actually cover our entire party in this small spread. See the Moogle coming down again. Just love the summons in this game. Everybody topped off. Get Protag back on the prowl. .28 damage, and dodges the counter. Big job level up for Protag. Got the Black Goblin moving up next. Hitting on a 24 damage tackle and taking 32 in return on a counter. So Protag really getting his bang for his buck. Knife Hand dealing 40 damage to Misral. weighing our options here. Could get 15 damage on a Wave Fist. But of course we cannot stand for aggression against our White Mage, our Priest, our Wave Master Extraordinaire. So we'll go for a solid attack from Kite, dealing 24 big damage. Sanjuro, it's amazing, just keeping him in that support role is just everything we could ever hope for, keeping our casters topped off and giving him all the job points he could stand. Got him up to that rank 4 now. Pretty quick cure spell should have that done. Yeah, that'll definitely kill the skeleton. And there's no one else in range that could really make use of it. So let's go ahead and cast carefully though, so we don't have any enemies coming up and grabbing free healing. Actually, that works out rather well. Have Protag attack the Black Goblin, take some counter damage back, and cheekily retreat right next to Misral. Comes back just in time for the cure spell to go off, so free healing for Protag. And Misral has now used white magic to take out the majority of that skeleton's hit points. Big Chomp attempted on Kite, and it hits. Means that Tsukasa can once again go for an instantaneous Moogle heal. How great has that been? Just every turn, big awesome summon, the turn it comes down. I'm not going to promise they're all going to go next turn, but Moogle certainly will, and we're reaping the rewards on that. Nearly limitless MP as well, due to Chakra being on Sanjuro. Do believe this is when he enters the fray of battle, however, as I think he could pretty directly finish this goblin off. So we will skip our turn supporting the casters, go for a charge +1, maybe a straight attack, looking at that damage. Yeah, straight attack will deal 42 damage. So Sanjuro's one attack is a big attack, it is lethal damage. We'll have Kite hold the line here. Just attack the bomb outright for 24 damage, takes 21 back on a counter shot. Protag will move up behind the bomb. Attack it as well, hitting for 28 damage. Misral will cast instantaneously, and we're going Bolt here. You would think Ice, but it's actually Bolt that's the big one against bombs. Just have her sort of chill there. Now all of a sudden just 2 hit points left on the bomb, bringing Kite back up, and with a guaranteed hit chance, we take the bomb out before it gets a chance to self-destruct. Also before those skeletons get a chance to reincorporate. Rather than turning into chests or gems, if the 3-turn death timer runs out on a fallen skeleton, they just come back to life. So there you go, 6,000, well just about 6,000, 5,900 gil. And let's see if we have anything fancy coming up with our formation here before calling it an episode. Learning abilities. Up to 5th level Thief already for Protag. We spent a lot of time farming that move +2. Tsukasa. 129 job points as a summoner into the second level, but not quite enough to get into any of the fancy damage ones. There you see Shiva, Rama, and Ifrit. Your ice, lightning, and fire ones are up next at 200 experience apiece before we move into Titan, Golem, Carbuncle, then Bahamut, Odin, Leviathan, Salamander, Sylph, Fairy, Lich, and Cyclops, the big one. I guess Bahamut's the biggest at 1200. But if you're last on the list, you're pretty big. Kite showing masterful skills as a thief and closing in on that move +2 before probably moving back to Archer and getting those charge skills. Misral, all kind of white magic experience learned that time out. Last time we had a little over the job points stored to learn Cure 2, and because we didn't use it, we now have enough to learn Cure 3. Not the route we're going, though, as we can learn the Wall spell, which will give us Protect and Shell all rolled into one. That's what we want out of the get-go. And now Sanjuro. Hit that 4th level of Monk. Do believe it's time to roll the dice and move him back to Archer so we can learn there. Fortunately, thanks to his equipped sword ability. Yeah, he's actually a little better defensively than he was. Set that punch art so we've got Chakra at the ready, weapon guard to protect the sword. And there you go. We are all set for next time out. You all take care, and we will see you around.